Paris, 1911. The city was a masterpiece of art and life. At the heart of it all stood the Louvre Museum, home to thousands of priceless treasures. Among them, a small portrait hung quietly on a wall, admired but not yet worshipped. It was called La Gioconda de Mona Lisa. No one could have imagined that this painting was about to become the most famous artwork in human history. All because of one single event. The morning of August 22nd, 1911, started like any other. A French painter named Louis Barraud walked into the Louvre to sketch famous artworks, a common practice for him. But when he reached the spot where the Mona Lisa usually hung, he saw something strange. The wall was empty. At first, nobody panicked. Museum staff figured it was probably being photographed or cleaned. Security back then was surprisingly relaxed. Guards were few, alarms were primitive, and priceless art was often left unprotected. Hours turned into a full day. It took nearly 30 agonizing hours for the horrifying truth to finally surface. The Mona Lisa wasn't being cleaned. It had been stolen. So, how did someone manage to steal the world's most famous painting? The man behind the crime was Vincenzo, an Italian carpenter who had previously worked inside the Louvre. He knew the building's layout, its schedules, and most importantly, its weaknesses. On the day of the theft, Perugia simply put on a white worker's coat, just like the museum staff. No one stopped him. No one even looked twice. He walked right up to the Mona Lisa, took it off the wall, slipped it out of its heavy frame, hid the canvas under his coat, and calmly walked out through a service exit. No alarms, no guards, no chase. One of the greatest artworks in history had just vanished into the streets of Paris. When the news finally broke, it was chaos. Newspapers across the globe screamed headlines. Huge crowds flocked to the Louvre, not to see the Mona Lisa, but to stare at the empty space on the wall where she once hung. People were outraged. How could France, the self-proclaimed guardian of global art, lose such a treasure? The police launched one of the largest investigations in French history, turning the city upside down. And then, the story took an unbelievable turn. During the investigation, the authorities brought in a surprising suspect for questioning public. At the time, Picasso was already one of the most revolutionary artists in the world. A friend of his had once been involved in stealing ancient artifacts from the Louvre, which immediately put Picasso on the police's radar. For a brief, shocking moment, the world wondered, could the great Picasso have masterminded the theft of the Mona Lisa? The idea was electrifying. But ultimately, there was no evidence. Picasso was cleared, and the mystery only deepened. For 16 long months, the Mona Lisa was gone. No ransom demands, no letters, no clues. The painting seemed to have evaporated into thin air. But during its absence, something fascinating happened. The Mona Lisa became a global phenomenon. Artists debated her mysterious smile. Reuters obsessed over her story. Ordinary people, who had never given a second thought to art, suddenly knew her name. The theft didn't just make the Mona Lisa famous. It turned her into a legend. Then, in late 1930, an art dealer in Italy received a mysterious message. A man claimed he had the Mona Lisa and wanted to return her to her rightful home, Italy. He believed the painting had been stolen by Napoleon centuries earlier. The man, of course, was Vincenzo Perugia. After authorities confirmed the painting was authentic, Perugia was arrested. His motive shocked everyone. He insisted he wasn't a criminal, but a patriot. He thought he was saving a piece of Italian heritage. After being exhibited across Italy to massive crowds, the Mona Lisa was finally returned to the Louvre. She arrived not as a painting, but as a returning queen. She would never again be just another piece of art. But the theft is only one part of the puzzle. The mysteries surrounding the painting itself are just as captivating. For starters, who is the woman in the portrait? Most art historians agree she was Lisa Gardini, the wife of a wealthy Florentine silk merchant. Leonardo da Vinci was likely commissioned to paint her portrait. Yet, some doubts remain. There's no record the painting was ever delivered to the family. Some theories suggest it wasn't a real person at all, but Leonardo's ideal vision of beauty. A few even propose that the face is a cleverly disguised self-portrait of Leonardo himself. With no definitive record from the artist, the truth remains shrouded in mystery. And then there's that smile, perhaps the greatest mystery of all. Is she smiling, or isn't she? Scientists have an explanation for this incredible illusion, and it has to do with how our eyes work. When you look directly at her mouth, the smile seems to fade away. But when you look at her eyes, the shadows around her lips create the illusion of a subtle grin. It's your brain that completes the expression. The smile exists, but only in your mind. As if that wasn't enough, there's another twist. In recent years, experts discovered another version of the Mona Lisa, painted around the same time and with strikingly similar details. Was it a practice piece by Leonardo, or was it created by one of his students under his direct supervision? And if so, which one is the real Mona Lisa? This discovery has opened up a whole new chapter of debate among art historians. Today, the Mona Lisa sits behind thick, bulletproof glass, protected by state-of-the-art cameras, countless guards, and the eyes of millions of visitors each year. Her journey from a quiet portrait to a global icon is a story of theft, patriotism, and enduring mystery. Despite all the security, her greatest power remains unchanged. Her ability to make us look closer, to question what we see, and to wonder about the secrets hidden behind that unforgettable smile. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.